Hello and welcome to Paxton Road TV. I am Sam Spurs for Life, and this is your Paxton Road TV reaction show for the game that has just completed, it's just finished. Tottenham Hotspur 3, West Ham United 1, and Tottenham go marching on. In the house,
in there.
we definitely looks like we've got some of the Avengers here. What's that man down in the bottom left? He looks like some form. Bane. That might be Bane. That's Bane from the DC comics there. We've also got Deji Spurs in the house, and always, as always, Mike Hotspur Hustler. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Good evening. Absolutely on cloud 702 right now. Absolutely brilliant job by the lads. And come on, you Spurs. Come on.
And welcoming in as well, the dressing gown 3K has joined us as well. So it's almost full membership from the Avengers crew. It's definitely all we needed was Marlon to be in the house, and Sid as well. But unfortunately, they can't make it today. But anyway, before we start, please like the show. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and share this content around with everybody that you know. Let's start then, gentlemen. Start with you, 3K, dressing room 3K. What did you think of the performance? What did you think of the game? We dealt with the pressure. It was a must-win game, and Spurs won.
I think, you know what? I think I'm going to start something new today. What is it? The 20th of March? Yeah. I'm going to wear this when I feel like games were comfortable, or I just don't like the team we're playing against and we win.
Hold on a minute.
Oh no! Now we are fully formed. Now we are fully formed.
Now it really has. Now we really have gone to town. Now we have really got Avengers coming in full force. They're flying in from everywhere. What's going off here? Welcome to Spurs. I was just saying that you might not have joined us, and was going to say that the full Avengers crew wasn't quite here, but it looks like we've got Bane down in the bottom left. We've got dressing room 3K up top. We've got Deji in the middle.
In the bottom.
We've got them all. It's all fully assembled.
I saw the sign in the sky, so I had to come on.
Even Deji's got the A for Avengers on his hat.
Yeah, you see?
Jeez. And then Mike's gone and changed his snapback too, as well. So we're fully. He's got a new snapback on. Is that a new snapback? I don't know what's going on. But anyway, sorry, getting a bit giddy. Darius, go back to your thoughts about the game. We now got everybody assembled.
Yeah, I was gonna say my new thing is I'll wear this dressing gown when we win comfortably or we beat a team that I don't like. I think for the first half, I probably could have said both reasons, but we did make it more difficult in the second half. But at the end of the day, overall, 3-1 win against West Ham, I'm gonna take it. I think we played well. I think parts of the game to be fair, when they brought on their substitutions, and I give Moyes a lot of credit for his substitutions, because I mean a lot of those players played 120 minutes, and a lot of them still played pretty well, to be honest, against us. And he brought off Masuaku, and he brought off Antonio, who was already injured and played 120 minutes, and then brought on Fornals and Yarmolenko. They made a big difference. Sort of, they kept the ball a lot better. I think they had sort of like 75% possession. I saw they were good, but I think that we were just better. And I think that I can notice where we saw the exploits in that West Ham defense. Sonny was again running in behind. It's like they couldn't even defend it. It's like they knew it was going to happen, but they couldn't defend it. And even Ben Johnson on the right couldn't deal with Reguilon's pace. And if he was a sort of better finisher and player, we probably would have a lot more chances scored, which is again why I sort of think that these fullbacks, if they are changed in the summer, will sort of elevate our team to levels that we can't really recognize at the moment, because we don't have the fullbacks to sort of realize how good a team can be with it. But yeah, overall it was a good performance. I think again we could have scored more goals than 3, in my opinion. I think Kane, what the hell was Kane doing for that attempt that he tried to put over the bar? He could have cross-boxed it to Son, could have put it on his left, could have easily scored that. I think Doherty, that had a great shot blocked against Dawson, could have gone in easily. Kulusevski could have cut in and scored. I think everybody played well. Son and Kane got 2 more assists sort of with each other, so that now takes them to, I think it's 39 goals and assists altogether between them. So it's just fantastic to see. It's great. And also with 3 points behind those lot, and their game in hand is us. So the impetus is all on us. If we can do what we did today and take sort of advantage of situations and really show a team that we are better, because we're better than West Ham. And a lot of people sort of doubted that, and even I doubted that. Even I was sort of questioning whether our squad was better than West Ham's. I don't necessarily think our squad's that much better than West Ham's, but it's certainly better than West Ham, and we are certainly better than West Ham, and we've proven it today. So two wins against West Ham, can't really complain, can you? I mean, I'm very, very happy. I got to watch it with my flatmate who's a West Ham fan as well, and my best friend is also a West Ham fan. So as soon as we're done this stream, I'm getting on my phone and I'm going to be texting the living daylights out of them. So I'm just over the moon. It's like Arsenal to me, West Ham. It really is.
Yeah.
It was a proper, and for once we showed up in a London derby. There's a few things in there. Obviously, West Ham played that game on Thursday, 120 minutes, as you mentioned. What that would have taken out of them is clear. They did play better second half, West Ham, but they were huffing and puffing. They got that goal in the first half, and I thought, you know what, that could always see that customary goal from a set piece. That's Spurs' Achilles heel, crosses, dealing with set pieces. So I always thought if West Ham get an opportunity from that, they'd score, which they did. And that was when the pressure was on for me. And we dealt with it second half. They had a few moments, with what's his name? Barama looks dangerous. Who else was? Antonio was always going to give problems. But we got
Rice again. Declan Rice is just ridiculous talent. Yeah, he's
great player. Deji, talk to me. What's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, no, I'm with Darius. I thought it was a brilliant game. Look, let's be honest. I think we were fortunate that West Ham did have that 120 minutes, and you could see from the off that the players looked a little bit lethargic. But that being said, it was an opportunity for us to flex our muscles. For me, actually, I saw a lot of good things in our team, and more importantly, I saw hope. First and foremost, it was official today that Bentancur and Kulusevski are ballers. And we got to put some respect on PRTv's name, because he was saying to us when we got these lads that these are ballers. And in fact, they have taken our team to another level. Justin Timberlake didn't want the ball. Let me pull it out there. So not all.
For those, tell the viewers, for those who don't know who Justin Timberlake
100%.
There we go. This Justin Timberlake fan club with Hustler and Deji. They're going to give him grief. Don't give him grief, man. I thought he played right.
No.
Oh my God!
It could have been Harry Winks.
Carry on.
It could have been Harry Winks flying wing back. This guy was doing these little side passes that I could have played and done what he was doing today, without any training, and taking about 500 quid for my effort. The one thing I will say is this. I think we need 2 Romeros at the back, and we need a left back. We need a proper left wing back and a right wing back. If Conte could be given that this summer, I think we've got a top 4 side on our hands, because that midfield, Bentancur is class, Kulusevski is class. Son Kane, you could see what they were doing today. So I saw some strengths in our team, but the weakness was so evident. Had we had proper wing backs that would like to take a player on, did Doherty even try an attempt to get past Cresswell? No, he didn't. He scored. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Jed Spence, Deji. Jed Spence is the one.
Why are you? Hold on. Okay, let you finish, because I think you're doing Doherty a disservice. Today, I'm not talking about overall. I'm talking today. Let me finish. Go on then.
Doherty was garbage. I'm going to put it out there. He was we had the opportunity. If Doherty had been half decent, we would have got 4 or 5 against West Ham. West Ham were absolutely crap, and Doherty was just woeful. But dare I say it, lads, we talked about us getting top 4 at the beginning of the season. For those fans who are watching now, go back and see our earlier videos. And now I can say, hand on heart, we can do it. So well done to the lads, and well done to Conte. Put some respect on Conte's name, please.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna have to go an opposition view to the Doherty thing, and then we're gonna get another. Well, as I said, a view from the Hotspur Hustler on Doherty as well. But come to you, Sid, before we come to Bain and we come to Hustler as well. I didn't think Doherty played that bad. I thought he was actually quite instrumental in the game. He was definitely instrumental for the first goal.
Just don't, mate.
Just mute him, man. Just mute him.
I don't know what's going on with these two.
He will never...
Again, it's that central area. What's going on?
Real. Doherty is stealing a wage.
No.
Hold on.
No, I disagree.
I'm gonna. You're next, Sid. But Doherty, just let me say, on the goal, he was the one who pressed. I can't remember who it was on the wide area. He pressed to get the ball. He then played it in. I think who was it? he played it into Kane, and then Kane made that little, kind of like run, crossed that ball in, and I think Son obviously threw Zuma's own goal. But he was working well. He was getting into the spaces. I'm done with you two in a sense. Sid, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts is them two just need, you know what they do? They just leave the kid alone. Go watch the Wanderers. Go watch the film The Warriors and the Wanderers, and leave the kid alone. We won the game. We should be talking about we won the game, not slagging off a player that was playing in a team that won the
shit.
You know what I mean? So no, you can't. Just leave him alone. Anyway, you know what? I thought it was a decent performance. I think I agree with what Darius was saying. Sort of second half, we sort of let him back into the game a little bit, but you know what? Benton Core reminds me of Berbatov, the way he just lazes around the pitch, his body language, everything is just Berbatov, the way he does the final passes and his play. But I think someone's put it in the group here that did Benton Core and Romero didn't look like they were bothered. You know what? If you watch the last 4 or 5 games since Romero's come back, his body language in every single game is like that he doesn't give a shit. But he does. You know what I mean? He does. And there's things that he does. He's interested, but it's just his body language. Sometimes he's just walking around thinking, oh, why am I here? What am I doing? But you know what? If he puts in performances like that, I don't care what he does, mate. I don't care. I tell you what he can do, or he can teach someone, is teach Reguilon to stop rolling around and diving and every time. Because there's a few times when he gets forward, you know what he's looking at. He's not looking at the goal. He's looking at, can I fall on the floor? And because
he knows he ain't gonna score, Sid. That's why give it to Harry Kane on the 12-yard spot, and he probably will put it in.
And I think he's looking at the Strictly panel for 7, 6, 7. Because he does my head in. Honestly, he does my head in. I was having arguments with my kids. He needs to concentrate on trying to score or do something rather than try and fall over and then roll around and have a tantrum.
Yeah. I was going to say, of the 2 wing backs today, in my opinion, Doherty was better. Way ahead.
Yes.
He was way ahead.
It's only because Reguilon's got burners. It's only because Reguilon's got burners that you think that he's playing better. Because he beasted Ben Johnson, but he did absolutely nothing.
He did nothing. He had one chance. He was clearly in front of goal, and the guy decided he's going to dive on. He dived on the floor for a penalty, and he could have taken a shot. He was definitely a yard or 2 in front. And I'm thinking, on your left foot, why are you diving? And it's like what Darius was saying. He don't look like he wants to score, or he can't score. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'm not having the Doherty hate today. No, I'm not saying in general. Hold on. And
he does still need to go. Yeah, let me put my hands
for someone who was asking about who Justin Timberlake is. That's Christian. That is Matt Doherty we're talking about. Matt Doherty, have we called him in the past? And these 2 central people are hating on him today. Let Mike have his say. What did you think of the game today? And what's your thoughts on Matt Doherty?
Okay, so can you all hear me okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Good.
Loud and clear. I can't hear you now. I'm going to mute you.
Firstly, was this win ever in doubt?
Yes, when they scored the goal, I was very scared.
Yes,
I was very scared. I'll put my hands up and say that. I'll put my hands up and say that.
I agree.
This win was never in doubt. I said it yesterday with my chest pumped out. I said we will win tomorrow. We will win tomorrow comfortably. And okay, West Ham got a goal, whatever. But the win was never in doubt. We were always going to win this. I don't know why. But I just had it in. I had that feeling that Spurs were always going to win, and they didn't let me down for once. But in terms of how Spurs played today, I thought it was a mature performance from them. I
agree.
When they had the ball, the build up was more from a. They were more patient, whereas previously Spurs are always a little bit too gung-ho or try to rush it, and we just lose possession like more times than we do anything with it. But today, I thought Spurs looked really comfortable when we had possession. I didn't, apart from that goal, which it's one of them. I didn't think West Ham looked dangerous. I didn't feel like West Ham were gonna score another goal. I didn't think they were gonna beat us at all, and it proved it today. Antonio looked way off the mark, and we said this yesterday. It's like if
trash
Antonio
anyway.
plays, is he going to be? Is he going to do anything? He didn't do anything.
It's another
He
one
was just
like
whining.
it's another player with no tech who's just got muscles. You can just push people
And
in.
just whine
He's got
the
no
whole
tech
game.
whatsoever.
And
He's dead. Don't rate him.
Exactly. And I thought Romero was solid. Benny in centre midfield is just different class. Like the guy just seems to have all the time in the world. And Sid, you say he plays like Berbatov. What I would say in respect to that is he might have the ability and the composure of Berbatov, but Benny works 10 times harder than Berbatov.
Oh no, 100%, 100%.
Everywhere.
Is it like the nonchalance you're sort of talking about, Sid, where you can sort of? I remember when he did the turn on the box, that blew my mind. Where it's sort of like
that was
someone with the
mad,
confidence to do that. That is a Berbatov-esque sort of move where you would just nobody would expect somebody to turn turn on your line in front of two players. That was amazing, to be fair.
But see, Spurs have we've got a spine here now. You've got Romero, you've got Benny, you've got Kulu, Kane, Son. We need another. Højbjerg played well today, but in an ideal world, we'd probably want an improved player on him that could sit alongside Benny, and also Dyer played all right, but Davis, we like what Deji said. Get another Romero in, and all of a sudden the team looks like it could do things. But Doherty, don't. The guy's stealing the wage. That's all I'm going to say. He's stealing the wage.
Stealing the wage. Wow.
Our weaknesses are our flanks, and if any decent team comes up against us, they would exploit our wing backs.
Mike, can I ask you a question?
Well done.
You know, you mentioned about the centre backs being the important bit in January. Do you now think that the wing backs are more important than a centre back in summer? You still think the centre backs are just as important? Centre
backs. If the way football is a simple game, isn't it? If you don't concede, you've always got a chance of winning. So for me, your defence is your first focal point in a team. Stop the goals conceding, and you always stand a chance, or stand half a chance at least. So for me, get rid of Davis, upgrade him. Yeah. If we could get another one on Dyer, yeah, great. But in an ideal world, at least an upgrade on Davis, and then get your the two wing backs sorted out, and then Tottenham look good. But our wing backs are just pony. I know we won. We did
Mike,
well.
I'm with you.
Great,
and if anyone on this call keeps going on and saying they support Justin Timberlake, basically what you're saying to us on the panel and to the audience who's watching this show is that you are not ambitious and you're not looking for Spurs to get top four. I'm not playing games here. I'm not here to do little.
No, but listen, we
one good part. He is garbage.
No, he's not garbage.
Hold on. If you say someone like Justin is a decent player, then that is small thinking. That's like
it's a good job we won today, isn't it? Because it's going to turn into a real one today. Let me just bring in Bain so Bain can have his say, and then we might come back to some of these points because you two are getting on my fucking nerves at the moment. You're giving him hard grief, and we won anyway. Bain,
exactly.
Bain, how do you appreciate the game? Are you inebriated with your alcohol, or are we going to pay the ransom for you, as has been said in the comments before? Sean, take it away. What do you think of the game today?
I'm more than happy. The Guinness helped. But I can't believe the only black mark against Matthew Doherty's name today is the stupid corner he gave away from which they scored. However, why they scored was because Reguilón, the smallest player in our team, was at the front post where Ben Rama got in at the back post. So what the hell are you doing? Reguilón is starting to piss me off.
Yes.
The number of times he goes to the ground, he goes to the ground instead of taking the shot. He was doing it for Sevilla. He was scoring those chances. What the hell's happened to him? And I think he seriously, Conte seriously needs to have a word with him. For me, Son always gets applauded because he scored the goal. But, I mean, that sitter in the first half, my God. You know, he should have, we should have won that much more comfortably than we did.
Sean, let me ask you a question. Sean, let me ask you a question. Which was the worst miss, Son's or Kane's?
Which
well,
one? The
six-
Kane's the one he knocks
6
over
and
the
2
top?
threes on
Yeah.
that one, mate.
The one he,
6
the one
and
he
2
knocked over the
threes.
bar. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I
they're both bad.
they're
But the
both
thing
bad
is,
misses.
you know, Son's gone away with the man of the match today, and some of the time he's just not at it. He's just not at it. And you know, when I see Steve Bergwijn sitting on the bench, it pisses me off. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. But Matthew Doherty today was okay. He's not good enough, Deji. He is not good enough, but he was okay today. And with a bit of luck, he might have scored.
Listen,
But Reguilon really worries me. He had so much promise, and it
100%.
seems to be going away.
Barcelona can take
But
it.
what I loved about the second half was that tiring them out. All the triangles, they all worked. That was like Juventus in their heyday. Just holding onto the ball. We've got the lead. Let them run themselves into the ground. Fantastic from Conte ball today. And I'm really happy. I love beating West Ham anytime.
Exactly. The players look more confident on the ball. That's one thing I will definitely say about them. The midfielders, even Hotspur looks more confident. They were what they were doing, which is, again, patterns of play were beginning to develop because Conte has to develop this team to be able to play that. We were seeing, okay, they're playing that ball into Kane quite a lot. Everybody kind of knows that. But like Darius was saying, they were able to get away with doing that because there's more movement off the ball. Kane can beat that first play. The other impressive thing, though, was they're playing this kind of like almost like a reverse pass into space, into the midfield area. So if you watch him, Hotspur did it a couple of times. I was like, what? Hotspur is doing reverse passing, but it's almost like a little, not a no-look pass, but a pass where they get it in the middle and then they're playing that through ball into players in the hole. And that took out West Ham so many times. I saw Hotspur do it. I saw Son do it. I saw Kulusevski do it. I saw Benton can do it. So that's definitely something that's been coached in them. If I'm seeing that being coached in them, and this is what I'm saying about Doherty, what he did, he linked into that midfield. He was very aggressive in going forward. Yeah, he's not the best crosser in the world. That's one thing he's got to do. But in terms of if I was going to put him and Reguilon today had so many more opportunities in front of goal. And he just looked like, oh, wow, I'm going to go to the ground. I'm throwing myself to the ground. Oh, that player. I don't understand.
At least he gets into those spaces and those opportunities come because of the movement from him.
He's got burners. It's not because of anything else, but he's got burners and he can run past Ben Johnson. That's the only reason I saw him get into those situations. And for me, it's not good enough to throw yourself at goal, to not put a good cross in. I actually do. And I get what Deji's saying. Like, Doherty not even being able to do that is a problem in itself because of his lack of pace. But what he will do is at least that safe pass is keeping us possession. And that sort of plays into what Sean was saying, where when you want to dominate possession, you want to just sort of tire a team out. Sometimes you do need that person to make that. That's what Bentancur does best. He's just very, very, very good at it.
But Darius, Doherty does that for 90 minutes. It's like playing with 10 men.
It's not.
It's hard.
Behave!
He's not good enough.
Behave! That's the best word to
You know what,
behave,
Mike? You're ruining my night. You're ruining my night. We just beat West Ham 3-1 comprehensively, and you're pissing me off.
I'll pay that bail money that you need, mate. I'm there. That's the money. I'll pay it.
Mike, if you was in the East End in my pub, I would have said to you, get out of my pub!
I just think he played better than Doherty's level, which is not that high, and he's not good enough. But I also don't, despite Reguilon getting those chances, I don't think he was that good at all. And when I see him sort of, and I didn't see a replay of the because I thought it was a penalty when he first went down. I didn't see a replay, but I just think that you've got to be doing more in that situation. You really got to be doing more. And also, like you said, it's not just Reguilon, it's not just Doherty I'm blaming, because like we just mentioned, Son missed a sitter, which I completely forgot about in the first half.
Reguilon did it last week. There was a beautiful pass from my boy Harry Winks. And what does he do? He goes to ground rather than taking the volley.
He does it a lot. And I think that a lot of players, I think everybody could have probably done better and we all could have scored more goals. But at the end of the day, I still think we were comfortable enough to beat West Ham 3-1. And that's why I'm not that bothered about performances this time. If we had lost, I think Doherty would have been getting cooked. I think Reguilon would have been getting cooked. But I'm happy we won. That's why I'm not that bothered about the performances. And I think that looking forward, I don't know who our next game is. Does anybody know who our next game is?
It's Newcastle.
That's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a very, very tough game. And
at home.
I didn't think I'd ever say this, but I actually think I miss Sessegnon, and I think he would be a lot better for that game.
Yeah.
So
what, Newcastle at home? Is it at White Hart? Sorry, White Hart Lane.
Yeah,
The Tottenham Stadium.
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough game.
I'm not looking at where Newcastle. I think have done enough now to get where they are to be safe.
That's
now
it.
all them players are doing for me is just trying to see out the season, because there's too many teams below them, I think, for them to be in any danger unless they go on a real bad run. I think they've huffed and puffed enough. You can work them out, really, but they have got some dangers. They've obviously got Maximan. They've got a Bruno in there as well. They've got a couple of players who are dangerous. But if I look at their midfield, if they're talking about what, Matty and Sean Longstaff,
it'll probably be Shelby, Joe Linton, and I don't know.
I think them man's talking coming to the Spurs stadium and taking 3 points. If it was at Newcastle, it might be a bit man, not Sean and Matty Longstaff and what's his name? The guy that looks like
John Joe Shelby.
John Joe Shelby, that
Voldemort.
one. Looks like
Whenever I hear Longstaff, I keep thinking Harry Potter.
Oh, what's his name in the
Voldemort, Sam?
Austin Powers.
Oh, the Austin Powers guy. He looks more like Voldemort.
Nah, that's that. I don't want to see. Anyway, forget that. Right, coming back to you, Deji. There was a few things I put down here about the way that they were just creating these new patterns of play. Yeah. What else have you seen in because I think the biggest thing today for me was, to be 2-1 going so deep into the game, and for us not to capitulate, as in the pressure was too much, because I kept putting that in the group chat. That's a good sign. What has Conte instilled in them to be able to get that out of them now? Because I think that was definitely a lot better today.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I agree with everyone on the panel. I think what you can see, like you said, about the patterns of play, but also like there's a sense of confidence or security in our play. I myself was never in doubt that I thought we was going to bring on the 3 points. The players know what they want to do. As soon as Kane receives the ball, he's going to try and do this little long ball into Son. Cooley's going to come in, cut the ball inside. Højbjerg, Bentancur is going to do some nice little silky skill in the middle. The team looks good. The team looks solid. And that's been Conte. Conte always talked about he doesn't want people to improvise. He tells people where to go. And the players know where to go. This is not new. This is what they did against Brighton. In all of the games that we won, it's the same sort of play being happening. So you can see that the coach, because that's who he is, Conte, the coach, has really, really drilled into the Spurs players. And you can see, look, Kane is happy, guys. Once upon a time, he wanted to leave. Kane is enjoying this new role, and hence why we're seeing the goals. All we need now, and all I've been saying today, is I would like our defense to be at the same level as our midfield and attack. Our midfield and attack is a top 4 team. Our defense is 10 and below. And if we can just get our wing backs, half decent wing backs, and another Romero. You talked about Romero looking like he's not bothered. The guy is world class. The guy is absolutely world class. So is Bentancur. It's too bloody easy for him. Look at that bit where he lost the ball and he quickly
that's what I said about Bentancur.
Won the ball back. It's too easy. And my thing is the reason why we need to buy and strengthen, and why we can't rest on our laurels with the likes of Doherty and Reguilon, is we don't want to lose Romero after this season. He is good enough to be playing for Man City. He's good enough for Liverpool. He's good enough for them Madrids. So let's put some respect on what we have and build around him. That's what I've seen. Yeah, I've seen. We're a good team. We just need just 3 changes. Yeah.
And totally, this is why Conte's gone on this, this playing the same team, trying to get this continuity. I understand that. At times, because he hadn't got all the pieces in place in terms of the way they play, with terms of the patterns, which we're now seeing now, it was a case of, all right, so I was like, oh, well, we need to maybe change the team up. I can fully understand why he hasn't done that. But when you had we saw what happened when Bentancur went out for that game against Middlesbrough and we had to bring Winks in. That fall off was so much. That's the problem. So if we lose him, even though Højbjerg is playing well alongside him, Højbjerg and Winks isn't going to maintain that same level. So we've got to get the myth. For me, I think we could, not saying we could get away with not buying defenders, because I think we need to get central defenders. But if you said to me, we have only got to get now one player, I'm getting a central midfielder to go alongside Højbjerg. Sorry, to go
What an
alongside.
addition
What about Skippy?
Declan Rice would be.
Oh my
he's
god,
class.
He ain't gonna come.
He's the missing link.
he's going
Of course,
Chelsea.
he's not going to come, but what an addition he would be.
He's
Yeah,
the missing
amazing.
link. Could you imagine Declan next to Bentancur in the midfield?
Yeah,
It's over. That's Champions League right there.
yeah.
Because
Declan Rice is ridiculous.
For me, the defense is, if you're organised, it goes a long way. Because if you think about it, West Ham, they're organised. If you look at their individual defenders, you've got Dawson, you've got Zuma, and you've got who else is in there? They're back three today. They don't play back three.
Dawson.
So you wouldn't necessarily say, oh, they're fantastic footballers, but they're organised, they know what they're doing, they know what they're doing from set pieces, they know what they're doing from all these, crosses and all. That's what we just got to be. So that's why Dyer is so important for me. Take Dyer out, not being 100% the best player in the world, but it goes to shit because we're not organised, and that is what's getting us through at the moment, having that organisation.
Or you lose Romero and Dyer, and then you end up with Sanchez and Tanganga or something. So that's why your centre backs is fundamentally the most important thing.
Is Tanganga out for the season now? I think
he's out of operation as well.
Yeah,
he's out.
Yeah.
Right, let's just
I
have a
don't
quick.
think he ever started.
I mean, I want to see Pascozzi get a chance, man, because that kid can play right back. I think he could slot as a right centre back really well. I don't know. I don't know why he's not been given a chance. I think he should be given a chance. I know it's difficult times and we're playing for everything, but I think Pascozzi is better than Tanganga. I'll be honest with you. I've always said that. So yeah, I want to see him have a go.
We can only go by what the manager obviously sees in training, etc., etc. Let's just get the stats up because we're running a little bit over time, but we'll try and get this done. Okay, so Tottenham 3, West Ham 1. This time I have got the score right, looking it through, making sure. Yes, Zuma own goal on 9 minutes. Son Heung-min brace, 24 and 88. 53% possession to 47%. It looked around about that to me. But a big difference here today, 17 shots to 6. 4 shots on target to us, 1 to them, 5 corners to 3. So we kept their corner count quite low, which is very good to see because that's been up high before against other teams. And that's where we're always getting these problems. But they look like they kept that down to a minimum, and also the fouls. So you can see 7 fouls each, which is another good thing. So they did have a game plan. Clearly, they knew they couldn't just give away too many set pieces, even though they gave away the one with Matt Doherty. It was avoidable. That was his only mistake, in my opinion, and therefore it cost us. So if we can get away with stuff that doesn't cost us like how we do, we might have a little bit better. Sid, in terms of the possession stats, did it feel comfortable?
I think so. I think what Darius was saying before, just when they got their goal, it looked a little bit, here we go again, because that's what we do, don't we? When we go 2 up and then, my boy goes to me, Dad, you remember we was 3-0 up with these lot once? And I went, yeah, all right, don't remind me about that one. But this time round, when they got their goal, you sort of thought, oh no, here we go again. But fair play to them, like you said, Sam, they had a game plan. They didn't panic. They didn't press the self-destruction button. Carried on with their game. Just concentrated. And it didn't look like second half, to be fair, even though West Ham upped the game, it didn't look like they were actually going to score. Because at one point, I even said to my boys, have they had a shot yet? And has Lloris done anything? And they were like, yeah, they've had a shot because they've scored. Dad, Lloris has done something. He's picked the ball from the back of the net. I went, all right, stop being thingy. But nah, I think it was stats says it all, done it. We was 57-43, 17 shots, which is good at home. 4 on target. I probably would have liked to see a bit more on target because you know what, they had 120 minutes of football on Thursday, so they were already knackered. So we should have sort of, I think, pressed them a little bit more, had more shots on target and tried them out because 120 minutes of football at home in the Europa League is, you know what, it does take it out of you. But I think they've done a good job, and I don't think there was any panic buttons being pressed. I think everybody was sat not on the edge of their seats. No one was hiding behind sofas because I think we had this one in the bag and should have been more. Should have been a lot more goals.
Yeah, Mike. One thing that we can definitely say is happening more and more is goals. 3 today, 2 against Brighton, 2 against Manchester United, although we lost, 3 against Manchester City, 4 against Leeds, 5 against Everton. The numbers are going up in terms of goals scored. So just going into this, goal difference is going to be a big thing, and I think that's improving markedly as over the last few weeks. We were in minus a few weeks ago. Now only 2 off Arsenal in terms of goal difference. Is the words on? What would you say now in terms of the last 9 games going into the end of the season?
Don't mention
go down top 6, please. Top 4, please.
Don't mention it. Let's just not mention that. It jinxes us. So I'm not even going to mention that. But you can definitely see.
I will.
Right, you already have.
Go on, Deji. Go on, Deji.
You can definitely see there's a change in the way that we are more potent going forward. And with anything, it just takes time, doesn't it? And you can see slowly that Spurs, from an attacking perspective, have vastly improved. I mean, the fact that we're getting far more shots on goal than perhaps when we were first under Conte, but you've got to give him time to. And he said this: everyone needs to just be patient. It just needs time to get his ideas across, get his philosophy across, get how he wants the team playing, but get the players on board. That all takes time. It's not an overnight. It's not an overnight thing. And I think, the stats says it all, doesn't it? And the goals that we've scored recently, we can score goals. We've just got to stop. We just got to stop letting in the silly ones.
You know what? Just in general, that league. I mean, top 4, top 2, relegation there's a fight in every single aspect. So I'm actually, and I'd forgot there's only 8 games left for some teams. So it's make or break now. I mean, I'm gonna have a look at our games because it really is make or break time now.
That's why
we can do it.
We've got to play that game against Arsenal. This is why
that's their game in hand, isn't it?
At home.
The game against us.
But don't forget, they've got to play Chelsea. I think they've got to play Manchester United, and don't they have to play West Ham as well? Arsenal, I'm not quite sure.
They've got a tough run.
So they've got a tough run, and I'm not. Again, we don't want to, because we've done this before. We do all the Spurs things, but we have to be positive and look at where there are positives to be taken. If you think about it now, I would say Wolves are out of the equation. I would say West Ham are probably out of the equation because of the number of games that they've played, and that West Ham have got something else to think about. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Deji, you was boosting up the top 4. What's your thoughts when you see the league now, us being only 3 points behind Manchester United, with a game played more, but 3 goals in terms of the goal? 2 goal difference now between us and them.
Look, let me be brutally honest. It's easy for me to smile and say I told you so after winning today's game. It probably would have been a lot different had we lost. But the thing is, I just want to cast your mind back to one of the earlier shows at the beginning of the season, August, September, where I said that Spurs will get top 4. And to be honest, I think we can feel it. One thing about Spurs fans is that we feel what the players feel. I feel the same energy, the same spirit that we had under Poch. It took a while. We had to do a little trial run with Mourinho. We did a little trial with Nuno. They weren't the one. But under Conte, I actually think he can take us over the line. I think we can win a trophy with Conte. Not this season, but if we can keep him in the future, I definitely think so. And I think he'll get it over the line. I can see us getting top 4. And why not? The team is playing well. You can see the idea. The boys have bought into it. Kane now is on inspirational form. I was just looking at goals scored. Kane has come from nowhere. 12.
Top 3.
13. They're the top 3.
Top 3.
Us run away with 20 goals.
After
that, it's Kane and Son. Put some bloody respect. Names. That sort of performance is top 4. And the last time Son and Kane were second or first and third, we finished 4th. So I'm going to say to you, we are going to get top 4. The only thing missing is that if Cooley can be the guy that can get at least 10 or 11 goals, then that's how you get into the top 3. That's how you break into the top 3. But I think as Spurs fans, we should be and look, the scum are coming to our ground. It would have been different if we were going all the way to Finsbury Park. We're not going over there. They're coming to our ground. And we can do it. We can definitely do it.
Whew, like that. That's what the Avengers being assembled means. You can go out there and you can do all that. You can put on them Infinity Stones in that glove and you can hold it up like that. That's what Deji does when he comes on this show. Lovely. Sean, who was your man of the match today?
head and shoulders above him was Bentancur. I mean, that moment in the second half where he was surrounded by about 3 players on the edge of his own box, and he just emerged like, I don't know, like a magician out of that trap was unbelievable. But all afternoon he was available. He was keeping the ball moving. It was kind of like Modric in his prime, I think. I thought Bentancur was excellent. But, you know, I mean, I don't think many players fell below par. And, you know, someone was giving Davis grief. I thought he didn't do much wrong either today. So, you know, he's obviously he's not world class, but he's an international defender. And at the moment, we can't buy anyone till July the 1st. So we need to prop these players up when they play well. For me, Bentancur by far the best player on that field. He was certainly as good as Rice was for them.
Like that, Mike. Looking at it now, it's the next game. It's always about the next game for Spurs. Now it is Newcastle. If it is Newcastle at home after the international break, so we've got a bit of time. There's obviously going to be a number of players from Spurs being away, but we have, in theory, got more preparation time. Do you see the next few games as being the all-important before this Arsenal game? Because obviously we've got to keep winning now. You know, I think it is a straight shootout. If I'm brutally honest with you, because of the fixtures, because of Man United as well, probably 3 teams in it. I would just about keep Man United in that. Arsenal definitely favourites, but you know, are we now looking at the next game as being right? Just win that before, and then keep that run going. It's like keeping that run going because he's done that. Are Conte going to keep that run going? Is what I'm saying, because we've had the inconsistencies.
How he keeps them, I think he's just got to keep everyone fit. If that first 11's kept fit, we stand a good chance. But how we keep that momentum, we've got to keep the way we keep our hopes alive is just by each game getting your 3 points, improving on the previous week, and building up like momentum and a run of games whereby we can actually build some form and take that form into the next game and so on.
So do you think then that the international break has come at a good time or not a good time?
Yeah, no, for us, and it's, if you look back, the international break always does us a favour because we always seem to play better once we've had preparation. And I think the only thing with the international break is in previous, it hasn't boded well with some of our players because they've gone away and got injured and stuff. But I'd like to think that we've learnt a lesson with that, and that won't happen. But yeah, international break. International break. I'm in 2 minds. Part of me thinks, it's come at a good time because it just gives some of the players a break, gives Conte more preparation time on the pitch or on the training pitch, etc. But then part of me thinks, I'd like us just to get the next game done so we can continue like building some momentum. So I'm in 2 minds with the international break. But as you've mentioned, as long as everyone's fit, as long as Conte gets more time on the training ground, every time Conte gets a break, it's more time for him on the training ground to get his philosophy, get his ideas across, etc. So, that's my sort of thoughts on that.
Let me ask Darrison, what's your concerns going into the last 9 games in terms of a potential things that could be improved for Spurs? I'd hate to use the word weaknesses, it's like things we can do better. What can we do better to give us that consistency going into the final stretch?
I just think Mike's right. I think playing the same team, even though we're playing once a week, playing the same team every week, then obviously international break, Kane's going to play his heart out for England. God knows why. A lot of players are going to sort of go almost. It's a Nations League game. That's why I don't know why they do it, but they're gonna want to play their absolute hardest. I guess I get it. I don't at the same time. Apart from that, to be honest with you, I think the only issue is the character. You can't really coach character, can you? And we all know what the Spurs players' character's like, and when the going gets tough, let's say seven times out of 10, we're going to concede 2 goals and lose in the 90th minute. So I think overall the character of the team is going to be put to test in these next 9 games, and if they really are about what they're about, and if Conte really is telling the truth about how he likes these players and he's seen improvement, then this team should get top 4, in my opinion. If not, then I think you'll see sort of a lot of players not necessarily be blamed, but like I said, you have to get rid of almost the entire team to sort of get the character in that team again, because it's individuals that breed that character.
It also gives us Skip back, doesn't it?
He's back after the international break.
That's a really important factor. I know that's a really important factor, and I think he will be an incredible sort of addition to the team since he's been out for a while. But again, I'm not putting all my money on a 21-year-old kid, and unfortunately, I'm not putting that on him. I think there's a lot of players in that team who need to step up and take some responsibility and see us through these 9 games, because I'm not sure about the runs of teams, but I know that Arsenal's run is pretty tough. I don't know what ours looks like. I'm gonna have to look at it, but we've played most teams that we should be sort of maybe not expecting to beat. So I think it's only, who else do we have to play in the top 4?
Our next 4 games, our next 4 is Newcastle at home, then Villa away, then Brighton at home, Brentford away, then we got Liverpool, then we got Leicester, then Liverpool.
And then Arsenal's put in that time as well.
They're going to shove that Arsenal.
Last game of the season. Watch. Mark my words. If it's close like this, Sky will put that on the last day of the season.
They can't, because the game for Sunday is already in place. So it has
so they'll put it second to last game, like the Chelsea, almost like the Chelsea game.
In between Burnley and Norwich, they'll put it. That's what they'll do.
And it'll be like a Battle of the Bridge part 2, and that's probably what will happen. I actually think we'll win that. I have confidence in my team that we'll win that. However, it doesn't matter. I think we should be ahead by then.
If this game was next week, I would say, yep, 100%. We're going into that against Arsenal being on a bit of a run, blah, 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 blah. The thing now for me is I like the fact that we're behind Arsenal in terms of having to chase them. I think if we're ahead, we don't seem to cope with the pressure. Although saying that, we've done okay today. So there's a few things. We need to be chasing. I don't think we need to go ahead of them too soon. Maybe keep it. I said we can't keep behind them, but you know what I mean? If they keep winning, we have to keep winning. If we play just before them, keep the pressure on by winning the game. We have to have the continuity of the team playing as we have done, but we're going to need to get a couple of players back.
That London derby is going to be ridiculous.
Explosive.
Getting Skip back for me is going to be a very, very key aspect of this last few weeks, because we're bound to have a suspension, a sending off, an injury to Hojbjerg or Bent. I say fingers crossed that we don't, but just knowing how unlucky Spurs are, it's that sort of thing. Someone's out for a game that could cost us. You've seen that in the Middlesbrough game. You know, just one player out of that cog, out of that wheel, makes a big difference. So let's come around to all of you. Get your final thoughts on what you think is going to happen final thoughts on the game, and then obviously looking forward to after the international break. Let's start with Bain. He's still got his mask on. Final thoughts. Is he not talking then? No? He is talking. You're on mute. Sean, you're on mute.
Sorry, I didn't want you to get the announcements of the Let's Train to Presswick, you know. Anyway, I'm very happy today. The 3-1 win over West Ham always brings joy to my heart. Their cup final, they've lost again, thankfully. But I still think we're going to finish 5th or 6th. I can't see us getting the top 4. There'll be rogue results. There always are. I remember going to Newcastle on that last day of the season where we had to draw to finish 2nd against a relegated team. I was in the home end and we lost 5-1. So I don't ever want to count. I'm not enumerating the poultry, as they say. So let's just enjoy today. I like going into an international break on a high, and hopefully we can continue that on our return in a few weeks' time.
Fabulous. Deji, Iron Man. Deji, Iron Man. That's what your Avenger, unless you want another one. I don't know. You want?
Yeah,
Who's you want?
I'll take Iron Man or Thor, whichever. To be honest with you, look, I understand.
I'm going to say Iron Man with financial advice. I think that's quite good.
100%. I know. Look, I take the cautious optimism here from my fellow and learned friends. Look, the simple fact is, these players are paid a lot of money to play the beautiful game, and pressure is what is part of it. And if you can't handle the pressure, then you shouldn't be playing football first and foremost. But I do know that it's Spurs. Look, for me, it was a good game. It's a game that they had to win. The guys got over the line. I wish we didn't have the international break. I'm bored. I find the international break so boring, and we're on a momentum. Let's just hope that the players come back with no injuries. That's really what I'm thinking about now. And look, it makes the season interesting from our perspective. Look, if we weren't in that position fighting for top 4, I'd be bored out of my bloody wits. So I'm going to thank the Spurs boys for, revitalizing my season. All right. And we've got something to play for the last 9 games. Can they do it? Yes, they can. And for those of you who want to put a cheeky 50 quid on Spurs to finish 4th, I think the odds are like 20 to 1. Stick a 50, mate, and you could be having a nice summer. That's what it says. Not financial advice.
But energy prices. I'm not missing out on. Take financial advice from Deji with a bit of caution, because you got to pay your energy bills out there. Because boy, that's a lot of money to put out there. I was going to say more like a £20, but 50.
Hold on a second. My ice is due to renew.
Jeez, Deji with the 50. Anyway, I'm going to come back to that one in a bit. Darius, dressing gown 3K. Final thoughts and what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the North London derby. That game. I keep talking about it. That game's going to be mental, absolutely mental. And also, just looking at Arsenal's games. I mean, Chelsea United, Palace, Southampton, us, Newcastle, and Everton both potentially could be facing the drop. I mean, they ain't got it easy. So I think Mike's right in what he's saying. I don't think we should be thinking about them. I think we should just take every game as it is. It felt like that's what they did today, and that was very significant for me. When they not even took the lead, but when they were applying pressure onto us in the first half of the second half, I did actually feel a lot more confident, thinking, you know what, we might actually hold this out when it got to 70. I was actually thinking, yeah, we've withstood the pressure, and now we can go. And obviously we got the 3rd goal as well. So it really is such a cliche, but we really do have to just play every game as it is. And like I said, if players are injured, players need to step up. I think that probably, I think that's probably the biggest thing that I'm going to be looking out for in these last 9 games, is how the second team can do, how the players who aren't starting every game are going to react when they're needed and when they're called upon. Because if they don't react, then we're going to be in trouble. We're going to have to depend on them, I think, at one point in this last 9 games. I don't think we're going to get as lucky as to keep every single one of our players fit, every single one of our important players fit for these last 9 games. So the second string team, you got to step up, man. So yeah, that's going to be the big thing that I'm gonna look at in these next 9 games, and it could be the difference between somebody staying and somebody leaving as well. So yeah,
facts. Juice Nuts is saying 50 is too much, maybe a £5. You can't put too much on there. Like I said, energy prices, petrol prices, it's a lot of money to be putting out there. You know what I mean? Big up Deji, though, is what's being said. So man's just like, they're liking it. Anyway, come to Sid. Final thoughts and what you're looking forward to in the next few weeks of Spurs life.
You know what? It was a good performance today. It was nice to see that sun was forever blowing bubbles. But do you know what? Like I think like what everyone's already said, one game at a time. Not even thinking about top 4. Every game that comes, and the best thing is, once a week we're going to be playing a game now until the end of the season, apart from that Arsenal game. So we're going to have at least 7 days between each game where Conte can get everything ready, get the players fit, get them all ready, get his tactics on board, and just deliver what we've been doing today. And we'll see what happens at the end of the season. But yeah, we just got to carry on, not get excited, because every time we get excited, we just get pants back down as always. You know what I mean? And I'm just looking forward to the 2-week break, because he's got loads of time with the players. Skip will be back. All the other ones that are on the treatment table, apart from Tanganga. Let's see what happens with them. Maybe Sess might be back as well. So
Who would have thought we were asking for Cess back? I mean,
I know.
I pray those injuries on. It's in the same position. It's really scaring me.
Yeah.
It really is scaring me because I really think that we're going to need 2 left backs in the summer. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's it.
Sell him.
That's what I'm thinking, Mike. Because as good as he is, I think it's a good point to make. Do you have the time while we have Conte here to be waiting on a player to be getting fit? I think you've got to really just think about it.
Not if we don't have Reggie. Let's say we got rid of Reggie for whatever reason. We can't just have Sessegnon and then somebody else.
We need 3 left backs with Sessegnon.
You can't rely on him.
That's a shame. It's a shame.
It's unfortunate for him.
He's already said, Conte's already said that now, right? You know what? There's too many players spending too much time in the treatment table, and he ain't gonna mess around, man. Because he's gonna want his wing backs firing every week in, week out, not getting injured, spending more time on that treatment table.
100%. Mike, final thoughts, and next few weeks of the Spurs life that we've got to go through.
Yeah, no, as I said yesterday, this result was never in doubt. I called it Saturday. The boys didn't let me down. So, yeah, good win. We just got to take it into the next. Just got to take it game by game. That's all Spurs should do. When we get ahead of ourselves, we get a reality check sometimes. Whereas if we just keep it game by game, so the next game is Newcastle. They've got 2 weeks to prepare. Hopefully everyone comes back. We can take Newcastle. We can take them exactly what we've done with West Ham. And then what I would like to see from Spurs is just build on this. Just carry on building game by game. Build it. Get some momentum. Get some form. And then see what happens and see where it can take us. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having Skip back because I would like to see Skip and Bentancur in that middle of the park. I'd like to see what those two could do. I think that could excite me, those two in the middle, certainly from now to the end of the season. So that could be quite interesting. But I'm pleased with the win. Just carry on doing what you're doing. That's all I can ask from Spurs. Just carry on doing it, and as long as they put in a good performance and they're sort of mature with their performance, then we stand half a chance of getting top 4. So yeah.
Okay, so very positive, and we have to be positive. We've got to, for me, Darius probably touched on it. The players that are not playing, the 12, 13, 14, 15, let's say, have to step up if they're called upon. The likes of Bergwijn, the likes of Lucas. I think we can probably rely on Lucas to do what Lucas does. Bergwijn, he looks a little bit moody at times. I can see his body language when he had to come on today. Not the best, but again, that was a substitution that had to be made. It was a shithousey one. Understand that. But that's 2 in a row that he's had now. You know, he had the same one against Brighton, I think it was, and he had today as well. So he's been brought on in these circumstances. So this is where Conte needs to, this is where he earns his money for me. In this running, you're going to need to rely on player number 12, player number 13, player number 14 as well at some point. We're going to have to see how that
4 Premier League wins out of 5, by the way. 4 Premier League wins out of 5. We're in good form in the Premier League.
We're in good, very, very good form.
To be fair to Bergwijn, though, he's got to be given some fair amount of minutes on the pitch to be able to influence the game. He's not getting enough game time to really be able to put his stamp on the game, can he? So,
but the problem is with that is you can't drop Kulu, you can't drop Son, you can't drop Kane. So that's the problem, isn't it? And that's the problem he's going to have, and Conte's going to have is, okay, yeah, I've got an unhappy player on the bench, but I can't afford to drop Son, Kane, and Kulu at the moment.
And I think players know that. And for me, that's football. That's football life. Every footballer should know at the old school days, you got to get the shirt off the player that's playing. And if you can't do that, you know, that's your bad luck. You've got to prove. But what I'm seeing at the moment is little things like that from you know, Bergwijn being brought on those 2 games, and that, you know, you're always going to have to look at that human aspect of it. He's going to think, you know, I'm not going to get in this team, but then he's bringing me on with 91 minutes, 92 minutes. And then when he's needed, do you know what I mean? You're going to expect the player to then turn up, which is what we're going to expect. And then when he doesn't turn up, well, he's shit. Well, it's not because he's shit. It's because other factors might have influenced things like this happening. So this is where managers get paid, man. Keeping the players happy who are not playing is the most important aspect of the last 9 games for me. Do that, and yeah, we might be on for something. But this is another comment here from Bangkok 69. interesting name. 94 watching, only 40 likes. Come on, guys. Hit the like button for the show. Smash that like button for the show. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already.
Even if we get 69.
And hit the like button. I know that it's probably Justin in the DMs, telling them not to hit that like button.
Because of you two.
I'm just keeping it real. One last thing just for me, though. My man of the match today would have been Romero.
Yeah. Baller.
Good shout. That was a good shout.
I've got one more thing to say as well, actually. Any fans who want Ndombele back at Tottenham because he did one around the world against Porto in the Europa League, please stop it. Bentancur is miles better, and I'm very, very happy to see the back of Ndombele.
You know what? This is the perfect example of when you've got a talented player who doesn't want to work against a player who's talented, not as talented, but very talented, but can work. The difference is not just about the talent. It does this. Because that work rate far outweighs that talent that, what's his name? I can't even calling him, what's his name now?
That's how much
he's gone.
That's what I mean.
I'm calling Ndombele, what's his name? And a few months ago, I would never been saying that. But now you can clearly see the difference in a player that has ability and effort and just wants to, you know what I mean, show that. That's clearly for me what Bentancur has done, 100%. So long may it continue. Couple more comments here. So simply as he didn't look happy, should be, unless he's talking about Emerson. So again, going back to the point, players that are coming
I'll drive him, and I don't even have a license.
Listen,
I'm telling you.
Wait, what did he do when he came on? He took the Kane's effort away, didn't he?
I'm only the messenger. I'm just reading out. You don't want to shoot me down. Jesus Christ. Yeah. No, Emerson is not up to speed. He's definitely not up to speed.
He's not up to anything, 100%. Mate.
Can't even walk.
He needs to be on speed.
I think on that note, we do need to wrap up now because we've got interesting people in the stream. Bangkok 69, and as I said, that's an interesting name. But I'm now gonna say thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much, Sid.
And don't forget, we're on Talking Points Tuesday.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Love everybody.
It's gonna be juicy.
I'm looking forward to it.
Love everyone.
It's gonna be juicy because it is about whether or not Spurs are going to possibly get this top four. We tried to put it off, but we know that as Spurs fans, we're going to have to do that talk. So that's right, as Mike said, Tuesday. Look out for that talking points. Right, Mike, Sid, Darius, Deji, and, of course, Sean Bain in the corner at Glasgow, waiting for that train. The
Scottish Bain.
The Scottish Bain. The Scottish Bain. That's a proper class outfit you've got on there today with the headphones as well. It makes it look, it's just class. It does look like you could get away with Darth Vader for a bit there, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. I don't know. I'm just chatting and rambling here. Time to go. Thank you, guys. Look out for Talking Points on Tuesday. Look out for Judge Jody as well, who'll be reviewing both this game and the Brighton game, I think, on Monday. Come on, you Spurs. We've got to do it. We've got a chance. And I'm going to start sending a few WhatsApp messages to a couple of them Arsenal lot just to say, we see you. We see you. Anyway, you guys, take care.